Get a picture of their license tag. So in addition to some of the things that you all mentioned. Oh, and unpacking.
That's what I was gonna ask. Any of you ladies on stage actually go out and inspect properties yourself?
Yes.
Now, when you're inspecting these properties, what type of special precautions do you take? Because I'm sure we've all heard in the news how recently there was a realtor, I believe she was even in Atlanta, got killed because she went out and showed a house and somebody was there waiting for her. What kind of special precautions do you take as a lady going out to the properties?
So it's interesting because so I go out for two reasons, right? So as an investor, I'm either looking for properties for myself, or as a realtor, I'm looking for properties for my clients. And when I usually try not to go to properties by myself, especially if they're vacant. But it's funny because I was at a property with a client the other day, and she would get to the top of the stairs and she stopped and she looked back at me. I was like, oh, you want me to go first? And I was like, but I'm used to it. So, and I think as we do more of this business, we do get used to walking the properties and things like that. But I will say, I almost always leave the door unlocked or open. If it's sketchy, and it was one of those properties that was kind of sketchy, and that's why she was, holding back a little bit. And then I joked, and because we came in and she closed the door, and I was like, no, leave it open. And then I was like, in case we got to run up out of here. Like, seriously, because we got to the door and it was the lock was a little tampered with. So, you never know if somebody's inside, squatting inside of the property and things like that. So I almost always leave the door unlocked or open in case you have to turn around and get right back up out of there. I'm always turning on lights, always turning on lights. Like sometimes I don't even care if it's during the day. I'm turning on every single light that I can to be able to see, where somebody could possibly be hiding.
Some other really great tips. So I'm like my husband tells people, it's like the FBI gave birth to a CIA agent. So I'm like overly cautious. I've been this way my entire life. So like when me and my husband started dating, he didn't know where I lived for the first year. That's no lie. Legit. So just some really good tips for a female when you are out here in properties by yourself. First thing is always trust your gut. We all have that women's intuition. You can even get it over the phone, because I can just by someone's voice. So one, always trust your gut. If you pull up to a property and the person is outside and it just still does not feel right, what you do is you tell them immediately, like, oh my God, I actually just had an emergency come up. My apologies, can we reschedule this? I actually have to go at this moment. I'll call you, give me about an hour, and I'll reschedule it. But if you get there and it's just, you and you're going into the property, one thing you can always do is if you have earbuds, someone should know where you're going at all times. So don't ever go to a property by yourself and no one knows. But another thing is when, like me, if I go somewhere, my husband rarely lets me go to any property by myself, ever. But you have your earbuds in and you have someone on the other side, on the other line. And you let that person know who's in the house with you. I'm sorry, my partner. Oh, nope, I'm at the property now. Yeah, yeah, no, we can go ahead and go view the property. No, he's running a little late. So always let them think that someone else is on their way. My partner is actually on his way. He's about 5 minutes down the street. So they know I never walk in with a person behind me, ever. I always make sure they go first. No, I insist. Oh, no, ladies first. No.
Not today.
Not today. Not today. I insist. So never, ever let a male or female go behind you. Always make sure you allow them to go in. One of the first things you want to do is clear the house. Go through the house and make sure no one else is hiding anywhere in the vicinity. One of the things my husband makes sure we always do is we walk around the house first, outside of the house. Make sure no one's in the back. I make sure no vans are parked in front of the house.
This girl said vans.
Listen, because you know when you go to the grocery store, you don't even supposed to pull up beside no van. I will park all the way in the back, and there could be a space in the front. But if it's that freaky Jason van in the front, you got blacked out windows. Listen, look, I'm good. I can walk today. But these are just really simple precautions that you can take as a female to always make sure you are safe. And like I said, number one thing, trust your gut. If it doesn't seem right, it isn't. Trust me, live to buy another house another day.
I have a few tips. Tony, being former military, is really on me all the time because I used to be very naive about going to properties and talking to people on the phone and going and meeting them and not have any information about them. But so one is get a copy of the driver's license. Ask them to take a snapshot with their cell phone and send you a copy of their license. That's a big protection. Number two is never park in the driveway so that they can park behind you and block you in. Another good one, get a picture of their license tag. So in addition to some of the things that you all mentioned. Oh, and I'm packing.
That's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask. Who on here actually, has a concealed weapons permit and carries a gun
about to
outside?
say,
Two levels of packing. I carry a
I know in
nine.
Chicago you can't do that.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, not yet.
You got to come to North Carolina.
Yeah. I carry a 9mm, and I also have, because when we're showing properties, we're often in basements too, so I carry a flashlight that's also a taser.
Yep.
Perfect.
Who's gonna do it? So one of the things that I do, I'm in St. Louis, right? So a lot of abandoned houses. Anytime, Chauncey knows where I am. So Chauncey knows my location at all times, because Chauncey can be anywhere in St. Louis within 3 minutes tops. Through the alley or through the main highway, it don't matter, he's there. So that's the biggest thing. Obviously having someone that you can trust is the biggest thing. If you have, don't call someone really scrawny that's not very intimidating and doesn't have a gun to come save you, probably not the best option. But the other thing too is the second I open the door, I am screaming. And I make sure that everybody knows I'm coming in. Yep. And I make a lot of noise. So that if they got time to run. They can leave first. I'm not trying to make them leave. They can go by themselves. So that's just one of the things. But just make sure people know where you are. Another thing is whenever you walk up to the door, I usually will fake play, but you can have real play. And I usually say, yeah, I just pulled up at 123 Main Street. I'm gonna call you back in 2 minutes. So they know someone's expecting my call. I do like that someone might be pulling up a little bit better, but yeah.